GTA 6 will have a solid storyline, one that makes you sob like a teenager with a broken heart. I'm not shooting in the dark. I have solid reason to believe GTA 6 is going to be way different. Maybe it's the realistic visuals or the song in the background, but the GTA 6 trailer makes you feel things. Trailer 1 is less about the gameplay and more about the setting, character development, and storyline. Despite a floodgate of leaks, Rockstar has managed to keep the plot under wraps, but I have a solid idea of what GTA 6 has in store for us. GTA 6 will be cutthroat, realistic, and brutal, but it's going to be romantic in a most gut-wrenching way. Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another day of dissecting trailers and overanalyzing. About 100 million people have watched the GTA 6 trailer, but have already dissected it bone by bone. But before I share the storyline and themes, make sure you leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button. GTA games all share the same theme, the big bad criminal looting banks or shops. It was all mechanical and easily overshadowed by the stellar gameplay. GTA 6, on the other hand, may have a storyline and characters so strong that you'd have a new motivation to complete the missions. Right off the bat, our male protagonist is finally not a loner. We have a female protagonist, and guessing from the song, we are sure they are in love. The trailer opens with clear info that Lucia was incarcerated for some unknown crime, which she describes as bad luck.
You know why you're here.
Bad luck, I guess.
Next, we cut to several shots of questionable reels, Lucia getting rich and looting a shop with her beau, whose name we don't know yet. In a nutshell, this is what happens in the GTA 6 trailer. But I have cracked the storyline as well. I firmly believe that Rockstar has copied the Bonnie and Clyde storyline and pasted it into GTA 6, or at least taken a lot of inspiration from the real-life criminal duo. If you don't know who Bonnie and Clyde are, they are this couple from the 1930s who swore to stick together until they died. They were constantly on the run from the cops, stealing cars, driving away, and then discarding them. Clyde was known for being a killer driver and for his ability to chase away a cop. Their love for Ford can be seen in the pictures they took while modeling with cigars. Bonnie and Clyde stuck together. They loved family, and they put their love on top of everything. The main reason why I am so sure that Lucia is indeed Bonnie is because real-life events inspire most of GTA 6 trailer snippets. Almost all TikTok and Reels used in GTA 6 are events that happened in real life. The cruise party, the colored hair criminal, and yes, the twerking on the car clip as well. These are all real Florida events, from the hammer-wielding lady to the crocodile in the grocery shop. So if GTA 6 is so close to reality, then it's not too wild to think that Rockstar took inspiration from real legendary criminals. If you watch the GTA 6 trailer, you'll notice that our male protagonist isn't messing around this time. He's actually in love with Lucia. While this similarity was enough for me to assemble the pieces, I still had to read more about the duo. As I read more, I was convinced Bonnie and Clyde are in GTA 6. If there's one thing the GTA 6 trailer makes clear, it is social media rules. There are influencers, singers, and chaos ensuers running naked in bright daylight on TikTok Live. Now, those who are aware of Bonnie and Clyde's unfortunate story would know why this is a key detail. Bonnie and Clyde were lawbreakers, but their crimes weren't as major as their popularity. Not to downplay their crimes, but their combined murder count was 13, and serial killers before Bonnie and Clyde did much worse and received minimal attention. Take Herman Webster Mudgett or Harold Shipman. The cold-blooded murderers went on killing sprees, but the public still hated them. Bonnie and Clyde weren't hated. Far from it, actually. The iconic story of a man and woman on the run from the institution caught the media's eye, making them out to be heroes. Unlike other killers, Bonnie and Clyde appealed to the public fantasy. Their photos left behind and Bonnie's poems at the hideout humanized them despite their crimes. As a result, the media cashed it out to rope in public interest. Newspapers across the United States covered the criminal exploits of Bonnie and Clyde extensively. The public's fascination with their criminal activities was fueled by sensationalized reporting, turning them into somewhat folkloric figures. Bonnie and Clyde became social outlaws, as Bonnie would define themselves as one in her last poem before dying. Now, Bonnie and Clyde are the Barrow Gang. I'm sure you have all read how they rob and steal, and those who squeal are usually found dying or dead. There's lots of untruths to these write-ups. They're not as ruthless as that. Their nature is raw. They hate all the law, the stool pigeons, spotters, and rats. Bonnie and Clyde had gone viral in the 1930s, a time devoid of electronic media. Now, picture what might happen if they existed in the era of TikTok. Precisely what happens in GTA 6. We are introduced to Lucia, who was incarcerated because of bad luck. Lucia doesn't elaborate, but coincidentally, Bonnie's first arrest also happened due to her being in the wrong place. In 1932, Bonnie was madly in love with Clyde, and while she accompanied him to robberies, she never participated in the action herself. Bonnie waited in the car. During one of these robberies, Bonnie was captured and put in the Kaufman, Texas jail, but she was released for lack of evidence. This was Bonnie's first arrest, despite her not really committing a crime. It seems our protagonist, Lucia's crime, wasn't as big either, as she was released on parole. In the GTA 6 poster, if you zoom in, you'll see an ankle monitor on her right leg. Lucia is released for her good behavior, but she isn't a free woman. If my theory is correct, then here's how the GTA 6 storyline will go. You start as Lucia, who's freshly come out of prison, and then your first mission is to collect enough money to buy a gun. Why a gun? If Lucia is so innocent, she should respect her parole and move on with a clean new slate. Except Lucia is in love. We know from Bonnie and Clyde's true story that Clyde was sentenced to 2 years in prison for previous crimes after the duo dated. Bonnie had smuggled him a gun which Clyde used to escape jail. This could be the first mission since it involves less bloodshed. Once Lucia gets reunited with her partner, they may go on to commit smaller crimes. We see in the trailer that the duo kicks open the door to a grocery store. Valid sources confirm that while Bonnie and Clyde were reported and sensationalized as murderers, they were actually broke. They didn't commit high-profile crimes and stuck to looting small stores. Sometimes their max loot would be $80. Lucia and her partners aren't shown hijacking banks or planes either. They are also portrayed as small-time burglars. In one of the clips, Lucia can be seen in a car holding a bunch of dollar bills in the same outfit as the grocery store, evading the cops with her partner. After looting smaller stores, the GTA 6 duo may capture media attention due to their reputation as social outlaws, which influencers may end up romanticizing, leading to more attention from law and order. This is where the car chases would come in, and the true sensationalization of Lucia and her partner would begin, similar to Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie and Clyde came to media attention due to the pictures and information they left behind. Their police pursuits added fuel to the story that the youngsters romanticized. Bonnie and Clyde's car chases align perfectly with GTA 6 theme. Not to mention, Ford F-250 inspired trucks make multiple appearances in the trailer, the same car company that Clyde and Bonnie drove and took pictures with. It could be a coincidence, but with so many similarities between Lucia and Bonnie, I had to mention the trucks. Another curious detail is GTA 6's focus on art and music. While the background music hints at wild love being the story's bedrock, keen-eyed players would spot a live video in which models are dancing to a super popular song. Valid accounts claim that Clyde was passionate about music and Bonnie loved writing poetry. The former loved music so much that he actually had his beloved saxophone in the bullet-ridden car when he died. Could it be possible that Lucia and her partner became rich because of their popularity as a former notorious couple who made great music? We see Lucia wearing the premium fashion brand Sessante Nove on a cruise. It clearly means she would no longer be a poor girl out of prison at some point in GTA 6. Maybe their money wasn't all black, and at some point they tried going clean by producing music. If that happens in the game, players may end up sympathizing with the duo just like the public did for Bonnie and Clyde. Finally, the most important part of my theory. Lucia and her partner's ride-or-die attitude. The wording used by the narrator is too close to how Bonnie feels about Clyde. In her last poem before dying, Bonnie wrote how she'll die with Clyde. Someday they'll go down together, and they'll bury them side by side. To few it'll be grief, to the law a relief, but it's death for Bonnie and Clyde. Bonnie's words are similar to what Lucia tells her partner as well.
It's by sticking together, being a team. Trust.
Trust.
All criminals in GTA have a tragedy. Lucia's tragedy would likely be fame she didn't ask for, similar to Bonnie, who claimed their crimes were blown out of proportion. Mind you, Bonnie and Clyde had their fair share of criminal history, but they were terrible at crime. It was the media that painted them as heroes who were ace at shooting and looting, and this fame eventually led them to their deaths. Bonnie and Clyde spent most of their life running away. They may have spent more time switching cars and hiding than they did doing crimes. The reason? Media's obsession with their sensationalized love story and rebellion. Bonnie wrote well, and her words further fueled the press's concept of an outlaw couple on the run. GTA 6's social media themes point to a similar plot. So if Lucia and her partner's tragedy is notoriety, fans may want to prepare with some tissues before playing GTA 6. There's nothing more heartbreaking than the death of a vigilante or a social outlaw, especially when they have been romanticized like Bonnie and Clyde. Folks, this is all I have for today. What do you think about Lucia's story? Let me know in the comments section so we can dig up more information and make sense of GTA 6 because the official release is still far. Until then, we'll keep finding new info. To stay in the loop, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and have your notifications turned on.